Pride Week is going on in St. Pete this week, and it is one of the biggest Pride celebrations in the country, with the big parade taking place this Friday. And joining me today is the VP of the Board of Directors, Nathan Broomer, along with Larry Biddle, to talk about a new passion project of his, which is helping LGBTQ services. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Good morning.
Okay, I'm very excited to talk with you. And as we were chatting, you think Pride, I'm thinking the bright colors, everyone focuses on the parade. But let's get more into the meat. Let's remind everybody what Pride stands for and why everybody needs to pay attention.
So Pride celebrations are happening all over the country this month. June is Pride Month, and it is a celebration based on the anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising, which this year is the 50th anniversary of that. And it's really about a public display of diversity and celebration, but also honoring our past and where we still need to go for the fight for equality.
You and I were chatting before we got started that I'm from Columbus, Ohio, in that area, and it was one of the biggest Pride festivals ever.
Yeah.
Why do we need to see that turnout in St. Pete? Why is it so important to have the numbers out there this year?
Yeah, great question. So I think about the stories, as a transgender board member and leading and founding the Trans Pride March, the stories I hear from the families and from the young people when they are out there marching and hearing 200,000 plus people cheering for them for the first time ever, when they're facing bullying and backlash in their own, schools, and sometimes even their own families are rejecting them. That's why we celebrate Pride. People need to know that they're loved and they're accepted, and our community does an amazing job of showing that love.
I'm getting choked up just thinking about that, because again, you do hear it gets better,
yes.
But this is a display. It's more than just the fun, and that was a great answer. And you've got a great new project too that you're focusing on right now to help LGBTQ folks and in the services, right?
That's right. We've created the Plus Project, it's called. And the reason it's called a Plus Project is because hopefully it's going to be in addition to all the great things that already are happening in the LGBT service area. And also, we want to raise more money to provide more services, because there are some holes in the needs and not being fulfilled. So we want to take care of fulfilling them. So the Plus Project is a foundation, and we raise money from individuals and organizations, and service organizations who service LGBT folks apply to us, and then we can decide which organization gets what support.
What were some of the needs that you've been able to see in the community?
Well, there's a lot of needs that are there, because new things pop up all the time. For instance, there are hundreds of kids who are homeless, LGBT, about 40% of the population that are homeless youth, in both counties and in the area, and there's not enough money to supply them with services. And last year, for instance, we had to cut off the outreach program. Well, if we were in existence as we are now, but we had funds now as we didn't have then, we would be able to go back and say, okay, let's keep this going, and let's give them money to make that happen.
I love that. And again, this is just one example of all the wonderful organizations that will be helped because of Pride. And realistically, the list of events, it is so large this year, which is so exciting to see. As an ally, yeah. I love going, and you've never seen events with so much happiness. Let's give an idea of what people how they can celebrate.
So certainly I think we're seeing more business partnerships. There are so many restaurants and businesses having their own private events. They're great. Check them out online and on the website, of course. Friday night's our concert, Lisa Loeb kicking it off with Jennifer Riel and Divine AF opening up as local artists. Saturday is the parade kicking off with the Trans Pride March, and then Sunday's the festival. But in between, there's so much between now and next Sunday.
I love it. Again, we shared the website with you, and as you also said when we started, people think, well, Pride's kind of in the past now, but you know what? No, it is still as important as ever. And in closing, any other thoughts you would like to share with our viewers on other ways they could get involved and support the community?
I think it's a 365-day-a-year thing. Larry's been doing amazing work for a long time, and I'm super excited about this project getting launched. We also have a community give back and a grants program. The services are needed. I couldn't agree more. And so let's support and be allies through action and support projects like the Plus Project.
So I hope that everybody will go to theplusproject.org, check it out, and you can find ways in which you can become involved in our organization, which is going to be really spectacular.
Good stuff. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Happy Pride, guys. We appreciate you joining us today.
The shoes.
I'll say you're complimenting my rainbow shoes.
Rainbow shoes.
Just for you guys. Hey, thanks again for joining us.
Happy Pride.